Back at it working on the sub here, so let's go ahead and gonna kind of redesign the rear a little bit. I need more space for the engine room, so we're gonna have to go from 4s. I'm gonna push this back a little bit, go down to 2s probably for at least some of it. So I gotta make a bigger space in there for all the accoutrement I need. I think in the end this will just be easier to redesign the rear here a little bit. Yeah, you don't want to get too wedded to anything here design-wise if you can avoid it, because at the end of the day I need this to work mechanically, so... What's that doing down there too? That's weird. Okay. Stop there. Okay, did I delete something I didn't want to? Probably. Okay. Should give us a lot more headspace back here. We'll see if I like the look of it or not. At the end of the day, it needs to be functional, so... This is going to be way too ugly and too constricting to get that engine room in, so... This is going to help. Alright, the redesign continues, yeah. Yeah, I think there's a way to go get this redesign in. It was raking too much, and again, a lot of this is all underwater. You're never going to see this, and so it's like, why give yourself all this aggravation when you don't have to? So, just like I didn't have enough space for all this stuff, and now it's like, didn't give myself enough space because I did it, you know, you do the first pass kind of the hull design on looks. And then you start trying to put stuff in there, and if stuff's not fitting, well, it's like, instead of just like sticking with your guns, go ahead and, especially if it's not, like an airplane's tough because you're always going to look at that. Let's see. Change this out here. Yeah, like I said, especially in a plane, it's more difficult because, you know, you can see all the design and it doesn't look right to you. You don't like the look of it. You know, a ship, it's like, it's underwater most of the time. And then one feature is like, especially too, if you can like box it up and make some features, that's cool too. So like one feature I've been kind of thinking of is putting a sub pen in the back here. So we'll see if I can fill the area up. And then once I have more space, if I want to contour it, make it look different, I can do that later once I have the actual workings in there. Like, see, that doesn't bother me. That still looks pretty damn good. Not as angled, but I like the look of it, so. Keep working the bottom. Yeah, I don't take that. It looks pretty good, and that's going to help with space by a lot. So I like it. So we're trying to add more water to these tanks. So I wanted to get the hull redesigned here so that I could do some better work on the power plants, and so I needed to kind of get this done so that I can revamp these power plants, because the 8s are probably going to be the smoothest running for me, so I want that to work. So, and they take up a ton of space, so I kind of need to have that available to me for space. So I need to figure the space out, and then once we do that, we'll be good. Trying to kind of figure out space here. Because squaring this off really gives me a huge amount of extra space here, where this was a pretty useless room that I needed to be a very useful room. Now this starts to give me a lots of space for not only my engine components, but other stuff, so. We need, alright. And then once I kind of get this figured out, what I need in here for mechanical elements, I can, if I want to sculpt a little bit, I can sculpt. But I think if I can put a sub pen in the back here, that would be kind of a cool feature. Put like a big door that I could put a submarine in the back here. That would be kind of cool. Launch subs from the rear would be an interesting feature. We shall see if that's what I want to do, but like putting a sub pen in there in this area here would be kind of cool. So I'm just boxing it off so I can do testing, and I want to work on the engines. So want to work on the engines. So I'm gonna just pretty much. I don't want to take too much of a hacksaw out of this, so I gotta be careful. So let's go back. We'll save this, and we'll go back to my test. We can look at the test and see what the numbers are looking like over there. Alright. So, again, you can only make as much steam as you have water. So some of these tests are trying to increase the water. And so this one's like right around 5,800 S-watts, and then this one has a second boiler. It's actually showing lower now. Let's see why. And then I was finding the double condensers are helping. I can condense more water. So I think increasing boiler count and also getting more water steam condensed is going to be the ticket. But we'll play with that and see. I'm going to kill the music. Bring the volume down even more. That's better. All right. Yeah, so this is really going to help to have more space in here. I can just do more. So, and I don't dislike it. I think this is actually probably better looking too. Probably push that out. I'm trying to see exactly what I need for space, and then all right, we'll work the power plants next. So I think pretty much the reactors are going to be coming more towards the center. And so boilers and reactors are going to be in the center, and then the piston of the engines can kind of come up. The other thought I had, which was kind of interesting, was sticking the drive units in the walls here. That could be another interesting idea. I may do that, actually. That we need to keep there. These were my diesel tanks. We no longer need. That's wall. Yep, that's wall. Okay. So yeah, if I could put those in here, that would be really helpful space-wise. How wide are these is the question. I would need, let's see if that's even possible. 7. So that's 6, 7. So just barely would they fit in here. Yeah, they just would barely fit in there. And I'd have to round out a little bit more to get them wider space. But if I could put those in the wings here, that would really increase the space on that. But let's try not to have to do that. All right, let's move a bunch of the mechanics of this around. And this is one of the reasons I want to move that ceiling around is where it was just made it pretty much impossible to get these boilers moved. And now we can kind of move the boilers, so, or the reactors around. I think where the center line is there, so it'd be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's about on par right there. Perfect. All right. All right, good. We get that moved, and that allows me to move these pistons. Yeah, it was kind of a cool idea to put them in the wings, but I think it's better not to. I want the engine room to be filled up. I don't want it to look bare, so that helps with that too. I think that's got enough space for me here now. So a big part of getting this working is going to be, I need a lot, working better rather. Cat's driving me nuts right now. Need to recover enough water so that we can make more steam to get up to 60 atmospheres. So that's not a huge ask. We were making good progress on that before, and then I got to see if I'm going to do double boilers, which is likely yes. What I'll probably do is do dual reactors to single boilers that splits the steam off into the piston banks. Then, you know, for redundancy. We could even up the piston count maybe if I have enough space, which I don't really definitely need to do, but it's a thought. I'm going to flip that this way. Okay, that's good. Alright, good. So we get those in, and then I could increase these to maybe 10s if I needed to. I'll try to see what the output we can get off these are. And I gotta check these again. These are, yeah, these are broken. I gotta fix them. to be able to test out all the gear ratios of these as well, so we'll get that set up so that works. Alright, good. So that's plumb back in so to make it usable. That's good. Are these off-centered? These are off-centered. All right, shit. All right. Let's see. Yeah, they're way off-centered. All right. 3, and then this is what 1, 2. This one's off, so I gotta move this one. See how it's all ballsed up here. I gotta fix this. All right. Come on, man. Don't give me all this nonsense. I gotta move that port reactor here and move it in line with the other one so I can actually make the same changes and not have it be asymmetrical. So we'll do some desalinization and get some fresh water out of it too. 1, 2, where are we at here? We went ahead? No, we're online now. Okay, it's just 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. That looks right on the money. All right. All right, that's on. Those are in line now. All right. Very nice. All right, good. So now we can do some symmetrical stuff and not have to worry about it being asymmetrical. All right, good. That looks good. All right, good. This is starting to clean up nicely. And then this here is going to be the, we need to bring the water out on this side, so. All right, so we'll start working on getting the water recovery going. So we need You need heat sinks in the hull. Your cat's job is just to kick you the whole time you're trying to do something. That's their job. I don't know who's paying them though. I want to find out who's paying them and kick their ass. Let's see. There we go. All right. Start plumbing in our condensers here. Alright, so there's 4 condensers. Do 4 condensers per side. Let's see if we can get this to work how I want it to. Grab some heat sinks. Why won't that go? Ah, this has got to move out one. All right. Yeah, gotta do this first here. Jesus Christ. The flicky camera, I don't get it why the camera accelerates like it does. It's brutal. Alright, so we got the cooling of them done, and then it's steam in. If I flip this, we can double steam ins and waters out. So let's do that. It's a pain in the ass, but let's do it. And then I'll just copy the units, and we'll do that. Be a little less annoying. So that should be steam in, steam in. Okay, that's good. There we go. So we're going to try to run these units, make them a little bit easier to deal with. We'll get these made up as units here so I can copy the whole set of them. Alright, nice. Who asked you to pull forward? I pulled on the blue one, you scoundrel. Let's go with 4 for now. Four should be plenty. I can't imagine 4 is gonna need more than that. And those are waters, right? Those can rejoin in the middle here, so. Water, yep. So that's what I want. I gotta get rid of these on this side and then just dupe them. Alright, good. That's symmetrical. Alright, good. I like it. Alright, very good, very good. Alright, nice. So that's plumbed in. Alright, start working these up. And I should be sending steam over to the other no, steam and water go on the same side. That's fine. We'll reroute water. Yeah, we'll reroute the water sides. What is this? It's gotta be a water here. Water, okay. That's gonna go back to boiler. That should be steam. Oh, steam. Let's see what this is. Should be steam. No, water. It's water. All right. All right, so that's water, steam, water, steam. Steam, yep. And this one should be water. All right, good. We'll pipe those up. All right, that's steam there. That should be water, steam, steam. This is ballsed up here. There's steam right here. Yeah, some of these are old. I need to fix these. Alright, water, steam, water, steam, water. Alright, those now where they should be. Alright, good. That one's a dud. Alright, so there's steam going in and then waters all need to come and join up. Okie doke. Flipped upside down again. Very nice. Alright, so there's all my water leads. Get in the hole, you scoundrel. Alright. Alright, so there's water plumbed to go back to the boiler. And then we can do any electrolysis we want in the hull. We'll just tap into that feed line there. Any of the starts here, we'll go to there. And that's looking good there. Alright, so that will help the water along to get back to the boiler and pressurize that up. It's looking pretty good. Should be able to run a test on this. Make sure it doesn't sink. Alright, that is, again, some people will be like, oh, game! It's not game, it's your design. It's very frustrating when people like blame the game all the time. It's your design. It's a physics flutter that I put in. Me, the designer, somewhere where it shouldn't be. Because I redesigned this, it's now in an open space. So that's what that is. So I gotta fix it. Alright, right here is where it is. This is it. Physics flutter right here, likely. Yep. That's where it is. So again, that's a me design. That's not a game problem. That's a design problem. And bingo, fixed, right? So I get it when a new player comes in and they just randomly do shit. And they don't understand why they're doing any of this shit, but it's like, it's still on them, you know? But so a big reason why I did that whole rear redesign was, you know, it looked cool having the real slope back, but the like this room will be easy to kind of finish up and make it look cool. And I've just got space for days, so I can do all I want. Plus, I can add probably 2 more cylinders in here and make this a 10. So if I don't get the power I want, I can up it by, you know, 25% pretty easily. And that's really helpful. So that's one of the goals here. So I've got a wheel on here for braking force. I think I'm going to change that out to the contradictory, the counteracting gearboxes as an instant brake. We'll see. So the whole point is when you're shifting from forward to reverse, once the clutch is 0, that brake will go 100%, stop the propeller, and then it will shut the brake off. And then as you increase the so then you can shift to reverse and the prop will start up in reverse. So alright, we got good flow here. It's warming up. So what we'll probably do too is the seawater that will be in my ballast tanks, we will use electrolysis to turn that into fresh water to add to the water pipe. For some reason that still looks off. Is that one forward? It can't be one forward because I've got symmetry going, so it just looks it. What we'll do is, like I was talking before, we'll do a common steam pipe and a common water pipe so that the reactors are heating each boiler independently, but the output steam is the same. So the steam pressure between the port and the starboard engine are the same. So if one's producing a little bit more than the other, the engines aren't running asymmetrically. Now here comes steam. Check what the pressure is here. Alright, so I don't have a water starter tank, so that's probably going to cause me problems right now. Yeah, that's going to cause me problems because we're out of water. So what we'll do here is, let's fix that. So let's start working on electrolysis and if I can find where the hell I'm going here. Get out of the build. Get out of the build. See, the camera flips upside down way too readily. It needs to not flip upside down at all. All right, we'll take a large tank. put a T-piece in here. So this is like a primer tank for the water. And then this is full of water in here, so let's go get this, make sure this is set right. All right, seawater, let's fill it up 50% right now. And what we'll do is we'll pipe this off, and let's see. All right, so we have these hydrogen electrolyzers. These will make hydrogen and water. Oxygen out, hydrogen out. Actually, I want desalinators. That's what I wanted. Desalinator. Which I haven't played with, so we'll be learning these. All right, so that's fluid out, freshwater connection. Okay. So let's actually not do this like an idiot. This will be a freshwater buffer tank. And actually, that has a pump on it already, so we don't need the pump. All right, and then we want desals. Blicky camera again, I love it. All right, that is seawater connection, perfect. All right. All right, so there's all our inputs there, and then I want to do I just want to get the air out of the system. All right, there we go. So that's going to be to add water into the system. All right, very good. All right, so that should be good to add some water into the system, and then we've already got the pump going on that. So, yeah, so the reason why we had issues there is I show that in my Steam tutorial is I took out that buffer tank, and that adds extra water into the boiler because you're going to use up all your steam, and you're going to wait for the cycle for all that steam to come back as water, and so you kind of get a wait period in there as it's coming back. So this will allow you to you're feeding it fresh water to keep up, essentially. And then we should be able to see shit. I gotta start I think I gotta see if the decels need to start. Okay, I don't think they have any active control. They just go with the pump. I've played with them a little bit before, but yeah, so they're good. They're good the way they are. All right. I was thinking of the hydrogen electrolyzer. All right. And it's sitting down towards the bow because we put all that water in there, and there's more water in the bow, so I need to put some more weight in the back. I'll let those start up so you can see how it's sitting a little crooked. That's fine. Because this whole lowest element is full of water, as you can see. And there was more weight in the front, so. We might plug those right into the outside of the hull, probably. So instead of feeding water out of the ballast tanks, we feed it out of the ocean, which is probably smarter. Yeah, you see there's a slow flow right there? That's the desalinators there. Putting fresh water into the system from the ballast tank. And then once we start condensing our own steam, we'll be off to the races here. And so that buffer tank will give us extra water so that once the boiler starts going down, that buffer tank fills up the boiler again. And now we have enough water in the system that should recirculate and keep coming back. Yes. Wonder when we're finally going to get this challenge video. It's been quite a while. See when the challenge finished. Coming up, yeah, it's a month ago today. So. Let's check on it. Okay, we're almost up to temp. Alright, here comes the steam. Yeah, so what happened before was, so essentially you see fluid volume, that's how much water is in the boiler. And then that water, as you see, the fluid volume is going down, the water is being converted into steam, which is steam coming up. And then once it essentially boiled all the water in there, it has to take its time to get back through the condensers. One of the reasons why we put more condensers in there is we want to get that water back more quickly. And then adding the desalinators are going to allow us to just add bulk water to it. So eventually it'll be maxed out on water, you know, probably pretty slowly with the desalinators, but it will help, you know. They can't run backwards, so it's just going to add water to the system the whole time, and eventually they're going to maximize. And so kind of like what I was talking about here is we've got steam, it's at 60 atmospheres, but there's just not enough of it yet to move anything. So people are like, oh, it's 60, they're not moving. Yeah, because we talked about it yesterday, like if you had a thimble full of steam, even if it's at 60 atmospheres, it's not going to be able to push a huge piston. You need the volume of the steam. And so you notice the volume dropped there, the steam goes way, way down. That's what we would expect to happen. And so now it's going to recover as, you know, we start getting water back into the system, because we flashed a huge amount of steam. It went into the pistons. That steam's now in the pistons, and it's going to come back and recirculate. So we're out of water again. Don't know why. But anyways, we're moving. Let's go do a test here. We'll get this out and see if we can recover some water here. So one of the things that's kind of annoying with this type of setup is it takes a long time to get the reactors up and running, and that makes it so that testing takes a while. So I want to know why my water is not coming back up. Like, I have that buffer tank. Did I not plumb it like a dummy? I'm pretty sure I plumbed it. Let's see. Should be right there. Yeah, that's the buffer tank right there. Buffer tank's fresh water. Yep, T-pieced off. I'm going to do my old buffer up here as well. It's annoying I can't just get this where I want it. We'll do excess buffer here, and then we can work from there. So. let's see what we got here. Alright, so that is going water in there. So the water should be returning. It's got a pump. Aha, that's right there, that will do it. That's not the only one, is it? No. It's water out. Okay. Yeah, my steams weren't connected at all, so I wasn't getting steam back at all. So, okay, that'd be a big part of the problem right there. All right. I'm gonna go let this start up, and I'm gonna go AFK for a minute. Take us a minute. I'll be AFK. Alright, I'm back. We've got, sounds like, got control rods moving, so we're up and running here. So we should be, let's check our steam volume. Yeah, so we got a good steam volume here. Steam out, lots, we're good there. Pumping nicely here. Atmospheres is capped out, that's good. So we're definitely having a water problem before, so all these buffer tanks are helping. So let's go ahead and we'll get moving, and then we can test some gear ratios and whatnots. I'm going to trim this just a little bit. I actually kind of like the new shape. It's a little bit more bulbous. And it also gives me more deck space so I can do stuff back here. Alright, we're doing 19. And climbing knots. So that's pretty damn good because the our submerged speed is going to be faster. And we're doing 30, like with the diesels we were doing 30 and about 65 underwater. So this is pretty good speed here. See if we have enough ballast to dive. Probably not. Probably need more ballast in there to dive. Probably a little bit overly buoyant, and so we should be able to get diving there. I'm going to drop the props down a little bit too. I'm looking they're a little bit higher than the center line. But let's play with gear ratios here before I go do too much crap. I can test this on top. So on top speed right now is about, shit, I deleted my speedo. I had a speedometer downstairs, so I didn't have to come back up to check it. Let's check bulk water here. Alright, we're pumping a good bit of water here. And we still have about another 20, less than that, about 16 atmospheres we could go up. So that gives us some good range on that. Let's go ahead and start clicking some of these off. So we were doing like 20, 22. See where we're at here. We got lots of torque, so. That didn't change much. Looks like about the same. You're going to get diminishing returns on the gearboxes anyways, just because you start cutting down the RPS. So then the multiplication factor goes off. But this is working pretty well here. So we're definitely getting enough bulk water back. And so if we look inside here, we don't have any real stored fluid volume. So we're probably, so we don't have stored fluid volume and we don't have any excess in steam. So likely we're going to need more boilers. So let's bring this back. I'm going to go grab a drink. So essentially it's a balancing act. We need to be able to get that boiler refilled and then boil off more water. So let's get more, so I want to put that speedometer in here. My God. All right, there's my dial. All right, so that's our speed. And that way I can sit down here and I can check it without having to go back up. So that's the whole goal there. All right, so that's good. And then I want to make this so it's kind of annoying to do, but if I copy these, will they be connected? I don't think so. Nope. Okay. Okay, so we got those connected there. So I can control the gear ratios. All right, so that's rehooked there. I gotta be careful doing that. That's gonna cause me problems if I'm not careful. All right. All right. All right, we're gonna do a common steam pipe between them. All right, so that way the steam is can go either way, so we don't have one engine that's working better than the other. And why is this not plugged in anymore? Because the pump got deleted? Yeah. All right. Where is it at? It's right on the money. Okay. Alright, good, that's there. Now I'm going to try to get more flow rate out of the this with the pumps here. And then we'll do a common heating pump essentially to try to make sure that essentially we can run on one reactor is essentially what we can do. Because right now we need to run on 2 reactors essentially to get the engines to go. This will allow us to run on 1. I'm gonna move them again now. Alright, let's cut them. Alright, there we go. That is the... So that's in and out on that. That works. Alright, and then we need... feed water there. Might as well join these two. For now, at least. Alright, good. So let's see. That should run us pretty good there. put a hole in here somewhere? Yep, there's a hole in there somewhere. What happened here? Why is there a hole in here now? Oh, there's a hole somewhere in the hole somewhere in the reactors, I think, letting water out. Let me see where the hell it is. I don't have... Okay, right there. That's where it is. Ah, there we go. I should have put more ballast water in too, but that's fine. I'll put some manual valves. That's kind of fun to have some manual valves on there where I kind of, you know, work with it myself. Warming up. So we're trying to get enough steam going that we can essentially want to have a steam backlog, because with this many cylinders, one boiler is pretty much capped out because we can't even get up to 60 atmospheres. 60 atmospheres is the max, so ideally we want to get to the point where no matter how many cylinders we have, we're at 60 atmospheres with a small excess of steam. This interior one's much hotter than the other one, which I don't know why. Should be a new update here coming soon for Stormworks. Could be this week, because if we look at the dates, last one was March 19th. And then before that it was February 19th, and then January 21st, December 19th. So we're kind of probably, and it's Thursday today. I believe it's Thursday, yeah. Alright, so we're making steam here. Not quite yet making steam there. The inside is making steam. We're at 60 atmospheres. We're just trying to pump up the should be going here pretty soon. Alright, so we're almost here as well, so we're gonna get this boiler going here in a second. Here comes the steam from the other side. There we go. There we go. We're moving on this side. Pump's on, right? Yeah. There we go. Alright, we're rocking on that side too. And let's bump the temp on this here because we got a lot more to boil. See what the RPM is on this. Uh, 1.16. This one looks to be going faster. Yeah, it is. I don't know why. Might have to segregate the two of them again. Alright, we're heating these both up, trying to get more water in there. So the fluid's quickly going down, which means we're making more steam. And this one's giving a good bit of water back to the system. Doing about 20. No real change. A little bit lower. So we could probably use more gearing here as we are losing speed as I down gear. There we go. That just gave us a big jump. That's back down now. That just unencumbered it for a little bit. Probably splitting the system is going to be better than doing what I'm doing here, and having independent loops for the boilers is probably going to be a better system. We're still having problems keeping enough water in here. It was working better before. Alright, we have a real low flow rate, so we might be overheating ourselves here. Let's cut this back down. See if we speed back up with a drop in. Yeah, we're speeding back up with a drop in temp. So we're overheating the condensers. You can hear us spinning back up, and there's 53 atmospheres, so we're up at a good high rate, and we're still climbing, so that's good. We're getting that water back. So again, that's the important part about it, right? To make steam, you need water, and if you're not able to condense, you can't get water back. So we're doing 20. That's pretty good. Probably capped out on torque and the gear ratios, because changing the gear ratios isn't really changing much. So we're back up to where we were before with the other setup. I think this setup's ultimately going to be probably better. Single loops for each boiler is probably going to be better from the reactor. I doubt we can dive. I don't have enough ballast water in there. Let's go take a look down at the engine, see how we're functioning now. So we're at set to 350. Doing pretty well there. Let's check, we're down to 32 here. Atmospheres. So let's bump the temp a little bit. So we're doing about 19.4. Let's see if we can bump it a little bit. And then for speed control, probably what I'm going to end up doing is we'll put a variable valve, and that will allow us to be able to meter the steam going from this pump into the steam pipe. pretty consistent speed, a little bit off here and there, but that's like, if you looked at any vehicle, it's going to probably have that much variation there. Alright, so we are increasing a little bit, it looks like. Trying to see how we can get more water into the system here. Constantly pumping. Tanks are storing a little bit, they're not storing tons. Why is there diesel? There's diesel in the top tanks. Jesus Christ. Alright. There's diesel in all these tanks. Alright. That's not helpful. Alright, first thing I'm going to do is add some more seawater so we can try to do a dive here. These are supposed to be water tanks. That's not helpful. That's definitely not helpful. There we go. All right, that's better. I probably shouldn't change the water in here. Let's not do that yet because that's going to add different characteristics that I then have to try to account for and see if that's actually why we had a speed change or if it's because I added the water, which should actually give me a speed change. So. Back. Alright, see how the warming process is going. So ideally putting single loops in here for the boilers, like you see that's 47, that's 38. It's not too far off, but it's a little bit off. Now that these are water, that's going to be better. So like the fluid volume, that water is there to replenish that fluid volume in the boilers. Also the tank underneath, and then all the condensers. And so that water gets converted to steam. It's going to go through the condensers. It's going to be turned back into water and be put back in the system. And we have some storage in here so that it has a high enough water volume. So what I might do is turn the reactors 90 degrees so the control panels are on the inside. Or I might do it the other way actually. And then have the boilers flanking them so they're equidistant, and then have their own pumping systems. Alright, should be close to steam here at 84 degrees, and this one's probably 60 something, yeah. Yeah, so it's like the water's going in here first, and then it's we're getting residual. So having their own pumping loops will be better. So we're trying to build up steam there. This one's going to knock off some steam here in a minute. There we go. You see the fresh water starting to go down as we lose fluid volume in there. It's going in. We're not really pumping much because we're getting some out of that tank, but we're not getting any out of the actual condensers because we haven't really made much steam yet. There you see the fluid volume's converting to steam, and it's going to make that number go way up until these pistons start, and then that number is going to go down as the pistons are using that stored steam. And there they go, and you'll notice here they start moving, and there goes the steam volume going down. Alright, so it looks like we're keeping good steam volume. That's actually a damn good thing, because that means we can add more cylinders if we wanted. If we maintain a steam volume, that means we have excess steam, which is ideally what we want. We want to keep excess steam if we can. And we're keeping a good, so we're keeping a little excess steam, and we're keeping a good fluid volume in there, which both things are good. So if we have excess fluid volume, that means we can increase the temperature to convert to more steam. So like right now we're at 40 atmospheres, so this is the best we've gotten on this test. And we'll go ahead and we'll send it. And so we should be going a little faster at 40 atmospheres because we're down like 38. Yeah, so we're already going a little bit faster. And then we still have a good amount of space to go there. 60 is the max. And so once we get to 60, we can't go any faster, or we can't produce any more power, let's put it that way, unless we add more cylinders. So we look at it right now, we're at 57. So we're pretty much maxed out right now. almost on power with 8 cylinders. If we look, we have plenty of fluid volume, which means that we can go ahead and increase the temperature a little. But we can't increase the temperature to the point where if the condensers cannot condense, so they're over 100 degrees, then that's too high. Now, the benefit of this ship is it's very long. We can move the condensers up to the bow. We have to run the water a long distance, but we shouldn't have a problem if we pump it. And then we can run the condensers in the bow, and they're so far away from the heat that they're not going to overheat. So like we're right around 58, 59 atmospheres there. So likely to get even more power out of this, we need more cylinders. Is one of the reasons why I changed the design, because we should be able to get 2 more cylinders in here. And that's really going to give us, you know, it's going to be 25% more power. So we're doing 24 knots right now. So again, like a big part of diagnosing these issues is going through step by step and understanding each of the mechanics. So I'll go get my food real quick. Alright, so we got a good speed of 24 knots. That's going really well. Alright, perfect. Alright, so we got a good save spot here where we can save the build. So because we have excess fluid, we can convert more steam so we can have pistons. Alright, so now that kind of the proof of concept test is done, we're going to move these out. Kind of do a redesign. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Probably right about there. You gotta be kidding me. I knew I was gonna short it. What are you looking at there? 1, 2, 3. 3 off? Okay. Center one, 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right, good. It's gotta go up one. Okay. I gotta fix the other pump here. Upside down again. Why is this camera so flicky? I don't get it. Very obnoxious. There we go there. Good, that's set up there. Very nice. I gotta fix the... Stop, don't... She just stole my chicken. Give me the chicken. Cat just stole my chicken. She went in my bowl and stole my chicken. It was cute, but very funny. I know, you're a silly girl. She's a chicken thief. Alright. So I gotta make sure I didn't screw up. I don't think I did. Alright, linear track was what I was worried about, and I didn't screw that up, so that's good. Alright, that looks good. Guys, stop fighting. Cats are now battling. You guys are ridiculous, you know that? Hey. She didn't even get any chicken there, bud. You don't have to fight her over it. Literally nothing there. I just took it back from her. those kind of added in for now. This should be the water manifold here. Yep. Now that's the water duct there. I don't need more cats on me right now, thanks. I'll be back in 2 seconds. I'm going to finish my lunch so they'll leave me alone. Alright, I'm back. Why are you guys battling again? It's not that serious. It's just cat business, guys. Yes, I am minimizing your business. Here, come here. Okay, that's where this water tank is, so I need that. All right. That's fine there, like that. Okay, I moved that one too far, that's why. All right. It's like, why is that one different? All right, water lines are connected. What's this? Right there needs connection. All right, the water lines are reconnected there. Hopefully everything looks good. That looks good. That looks good. That looks good. All right, good. Of course I deleted it. You can be shitty. All right, that looks good. All right, good. So that's set up pretty well here. We got steam is reconnected. Water needs to be connected. I think we'll do a water line on the outside here. Stop. To there. All right. go there. All right, so water's replumbed, steam is replumbed. Layout's better. We have space to add 2 more pistons. Very good, very good. I gotta check the water tank underground, which I probably don't even need anymore. Let's not get rid of it. Like, let's not just take hacksaws to anything at the moment. All right, that's pretty good there. I'm liking it. We gotta divide this by 10 if we do a 10. This will sneeze and fit there. Let's see. Let's do a quick. I don't want to do it. Let's save this. Okay. And then let's do a quick. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on 10s, and we will see how we're looking there. That's fucking awesome. I knew it was gonna happen. Okay, good. All right, so that's all cleaned up there for 10s. I got to do the math again here. So you take 1 divided by the number of pistons, so 1 divided by 10.1 rather. So 0.1, and it's a 0.1 offset. So the first one here, let's see. All right, so it'd be 0. .1, negative 0.1, 0.2, negative 0.2. Trying to remember how to do this right. Trying to remember. I had the 8 in. Let's look at the 8. So 8 is 0, 12, 12, 25. Yeah, so let's see. All right. 0, 10, negative 10, 20, negative 20, 30, negative 30, 40, negative 40, and then that should be 50. How's it going there, ST? How are you? 0, 10, negative 10, 20, negative 20, 30, negative 30, 40, negative 40, 50. Okay. So that's with the 10s in there. So let's go ahead and now let's give this a run. Ah, I screwed some stuff up. I didn't hook up a bunch of these. Oh, very interesting. Okay, I should put a water pump in. Yeah, I should put water pumps in too. I need steam pumps too. Water pumps and steam pumps. All right. All right, there's water pump there. All right, good. Those are in. Didn't copy it. I cut it. there. All right, we need a steam pump. Come on. Going at all that. Seeing people playing Kerbal because of all the moon business, and it'd be kind of cool to get back into Kerbal, but getting all the mods set up again sounds so miserable to me. Let's see. Alright, I gotta fix that steam on this side too. Alright. Make sure we get all our pumps hooked up here, because that's gonna be important, or else we're gonna waste time. I don't like to waste time. That's good. Alright, good. We look all plumbed up there. Alright, good. We look set here. Let's go give it a test run. Alright, let that start cooking. looking here boiler-wise. 28, 42. Why is one of them running hotter than the other? That's what I want to know. I don't get that. This one has no water going, is why? Okay, at least I caught that early. Yeah, this one has no water going, so something's up with this. So likely we've got a fluid port missing. I'm glad I caught it now. Alright, that's got a fluid port. That's going in fine. Okay. So that looks fine. That's got a fluid port there. That looks fine. Huh. Are they plugged? They are plugged in. Why is this not drawing any water? Let's fill this up with fresh water. It's going to take longer to load, but I want to make sure we're moving here. I literally copied them, so they should be the same. And this can go. This one has no fluid port on it. Alright, that will do it. Stop. Did I put a hole in there for some reason? I did. That's looking better now. I also filled them up more. Take a little bit longer to start up because I got to heat more water, but hopefully not too long. good. They're finally even. All right, finally even. All right, good. We got them even. Hello, Rasmus. How are you? So to catch you up, Rasmus, did a little bit of hull redesign for more space in the interim. Just moved some stuff around, got some better performance out of the reactors and pistons. We now have 10 cylinders, 10 pistons. I think my math is wrong here on the offsets. I gotta look at it. It seems to be moving all right now. We'll see. All right, we look like we're moving all right now. Let's check the performance here. All right, we got plenty of steam in backup, so that's good. Let's check our steam pump. 57 atmospheres, so we're pretty much almost maxed out. So we're doing good here with 10 cylinders. A little bit slower than we were before. It's still coming up though. We gotta see. About 24 was where we were before. I think my offsets are wrong. Rasmus might be able to help with offsets. So I've got 10 cylinders. So I was doing, so 10 cylinders, of course, 1 divided by 10.1. So I was doing a 0.1, negative 0.1, 0.2, negative 0.2, 0.3, negative 0.3, 0.4, negative 0.4, and then a 5. So that doesn't seem right. So something up with that. Do you have a hole in there? I do. No, that's this. So this is one of the, again, people complain that the devs don't put out good updates. Bullshit. So this is annoying. I hate this. And it's real simple now. We have the ability to click a button and hide particles. And that was something somebody asked for in the Q&A. For this very reason. This is distracting. It doesn't look right. And so people asked for a fix for that, and they gave us a fix for it. Pretty simple. We got good performance right now. We're at 57 atmospheres, so we're almost maxed out on pressure, and we have plenty of reserve steam. If you look, we have a huge steam buildup, so we have more than enough steam here. Probably gear this up even more, but I like the new layout. New layout with 2 reactors in the middle, the boilers flanking them. Looking pretty good. Walk around everything. Oh, divide by 11? Yeah. So for 10, divide by 11, Rasmus? Curious why it's divide by 11, not 10. If it's a 10 cylinder. But I'm sure you're right. Yeah, the problem, you know, I definitely see where you might be on the right track because the 0 and the 5 don't make any sense to me. Yeah, so we have 10. Because this one doesn't make any sense to me. Like, these are fine. So, like, the 1 and -1 are in opposition. That makes sense. So they need to be in opposition. So, like, this one, let's try this. Let's go -5. 5. That's probably better. -5, 5. This one can be 1. Do -1. So 1, -1. We'll do -2. 2. I just want to change the cascading effect too on them. So that's 2. That'll be -3. 2. This will be -3, 3. And then what the center one will make 0. So let's see. 5, 1, 2. Nope, that's wrong. Okay. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 5. Let's do that. Let's do a countdown instead. That'll be better. 5, 4, 5, -4, +3, -2, +1. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2. 1, 1. That looks pretty good, huh? Let's try that. Let's check that this should be in here. Yep. Now that's set up. How's that look? Because they need to be in opposition, essentially, so that, you know, you think about it, if you have one cylinder, you're going to have power stroke. So these are acting like 2 strokes, essentially. Power stroke. They actually have 2 power strokes, the problem. But like, for example, in a 4-stroke single cylinder engine, it's power, gap, 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 power. And then with a 2-cylinder, it's going to be power, gap, power, gap, power, gap. This is kind of like that. And in a 4-cylinder, it's going to be power, 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 because you always have one cylinder on that, always on the power stroke. And so with a 10, so you're not having that gap. So by having the right, as one is going up and it's not, like, so at some point you're going to have a piston that's not making any power as it's in the middle between, and that's offset by the other one. Those two are not making any power at the same time. So any 2 cylinders are not making power at the same time with this steam setup, because like we get power from the top pushing down and from the bottom pushing up. And so really you're not making power in the middle. And so any 2 cylinders at once are not making power, as they are in opposition to one another. But this is a good setup. I like this setup. I'm going to probably wrap up here shortly. Making good progress on this. I still haven't put it into water. We'll try to do a quick test. Nah, I don't have time to do another one. But I was going to say, maybe I'll do it later tonight or something. But underwater will go faster, and like some people don't think it makes sense. I get why they don't think it makes sense, but I think the way the game is doing it is it's saying, hey, you've got water resistance in the water, which the ship's touching. You've got air resistance for what's above the water, and then you go underwater and it's all water resistance. So it's subtracting air resistance, so you're still keeping the water resistance. Now IRL, of course, that's not going to work the same, because the portion of the ship that's being affected by air resistance, of course, is less resistance than if that same portion of the ship was being affected by water. But also, like, you know, regular submarines are faster underwater. Propellers, you know, deeper in the water. Probably have more laminar flow going actually underwater than you have it breaking over the top. So, but this is a really good setup. Now this is giving us so let's see, 45, 35, 25, 15, 5, and 5. What? Yeah, so mine's doing 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I'll reach out to Tripper. Tripper usually knows these. He does a ton of steam, so he's probably one of the best steam resources. Let me see if I can send one to Tripper. See where we're at here. All right, so we got a good good pressure, and we should have good volume here. And I think if you look, they should be right now. They're not starting at all. So usually, if they're not starting, the offset's wrong. Yeah, the offset must be wrong. I can't. This one's going. They're the same. I copied them. This one's looking pretty smooth too. Yeah, the RPS is looking good. They're looking nice. 10 should be smooth. Yeah, a 10 should be nice and smooth, so. Alright, we have 58. I'm trying to see why this one's not starting. I literally copied it, so. It's probably a copy error. That one's moving really nice and smooth though. That one looks good. I also like the different offset too. Like they were cascading too much, and it's because of the way they were ordered up. I like this better. They're more opposing. Like these are in full opposition. I like that better. I like to try to, maybe we'll try to set these up in opposition. Because like these are in opposition. These are in opposition. Like these are kind of not quite in sync, but they're like off a little bit. And then you got good opposition. I like the look of the opposition better. I don't know why this fucking thing's not moving. Let's check the pressure. So we got plenty of pressure. What the hell's going on here? Why is this not going? Okay, here we go. We've got Tripper. Alright, Tripper's running the math for me. I don't know why this side's not running. Alright. We got one running really well. I gotta see what the error is over here and see why this isn't going. And what I'll do is I will just completely, we know the working side, and it could have been a bad copy error. And what I'll do is we will do this. This I find is the best thing when you have a copy error is to just cut it out. I may have just found the problem right there. Stand by. Nope, that's good. 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 5. Okay. Nope, that's the wrong way. That's better. Okay. That may have been it. I might have moved it the wrong way. That's probably what it was. All right, so now we've got the new slab, and that looks better. That looks pretty good. Let's see, got negative 0.1, 0.1. All right, there we go. Give this a quick run, then I gotta go. One last test, and then I got to go. Yeah, what I did was I flipped it forward back instead of sideways, and that's what likely caused the problem. Gotta check into my flight. should be rocking on steam here in a couple seconds. Yeah, I think this offset's working pretty well. See how it runs here once we get moving, but so yeah, so like we were talking, right, the pressure is probably up to 60 atmospheres there, but until we get the volume of steam, which is steam in the top, we're not going to really have enough to get the pistons moving. Now, as you can see, that number is coming up. You can see the pistons are starting to move. We have enough steam volume plus pressure gives you power. There we go. We got a lot of reciprocating mass going here. So those are running. They're up to speed. Alright, let's see. Got, you can see we've got a good backlog of steam. That means we've got plenty of excess steam, which we're going to do other things like electrical generation. I might do it off, seeing we have excess steam, we might as well do it off separate shafts, so. The propellers could move down a little bit. If you look at the side here, right there where that line is, they should probably be down there. I have to see what center of gravity is. It should be low, pretty damn low. That's why it's pushing the nose down. So like if you notice, I trim this back. If I don't trim this back, it's trying to push the nose down because center thrust above center of gravity. So those could move down a little bit. But it would be cool to be able to have a submarine launch from the rear here, so figure something out with that. I am kind of glad that I have extra space here above. We'll have to figure something out to do with that. You know, because like we can do more things like land more stuff on there, launch. I don't have any roof space, but like the ability to like put something up in the elevator and then still store it on deck for a couple minutes. That's interesting to me. A little oscillatory, but it's not terrible. You know, there's a good speed for it above water, and then when it goes underwater, it's faster. You know, for now, like testing it, I can just add water and start it up again, but once I actually get in the ability to do ballast tanks, it'll work out better. That's not a bad speed, around 20. I still need to play with gearing, so it's kind of proof of concept. It's working out fine. And then underwater, so like when I had this going 30 with diesels, underwater was going 65. So I don't really need to be going 65. Not opposed to it either, but like if I can keep 40 underwater, I'm happy. And part of the reason is like what the sub's going to have is I'm going to use fast rescue boats that are going to be launched from this, as well as helicopters. Helicopters are going to be fast enough; it's not a problem. But you need to have the sub not going so fast that it makes it useful to use your other vehicles. And so, like, I send this off to go bring some containers somewhere. I surface. I go ahead and launch my either the rescue boat or my air vehicle. Go to a rescue. I need it to not be so fast that I can't get back to it. So if this is going 40, I need the rescue boat to go 60 in order to have a reasonable closing speed. And so if this is doing 65, I need to go 85 to be able to close fast enough, or 80. And so, yeah. All right, guys, we're going to finish up there. Let's go ahead and we'll quickly bring this back. We'll save it up. But some good progress here, some good testing. Starting to get nukes figured out. I love nuclear stuff, IRL. And so it's kind of surprising it took me this long to kind of get into it more. But, you know, it's like anything. You know, it takes some time to go get all the kinks worked out of it. And now I kind of do, we can use it. But thank you guys for watching. If you knew and you enjoyed it, consider subscribing. If you liked it, give the video a like. That helps me out. And I'll talk to you guys next one. Bye.